Therefore, be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. In other words, when you go as a sheep amongst wolves, make sure you're thinking about how you're going to handle it. And there may be different ways to handle it in different places. I heard a Bible message on this earlier in the week, and traditionally there are three different approaches that believers in Jesus Christ have taken in order to survive or to be faithful in the middle of persecution. One is this: just survive, flee, leg it. If there is a particular, go underground. Maybe if you're a Christian in North Korea at the moment, that's what you have to do, because if you are known as a Christian, you will be locked up, you will be tortured, and you will be killed. Secondly, if you don't flee, have some sort of associations within the nation and the culture and the community that you live that mean that you are such a blessing to them that they're prepared to overlook for a little while what it is that you do. Oh, don't be unfaithful. Don't necessarily keep quiet, but a community is prepared to tolerate you for the good that you do. And so in some sense, you're making associations. Maybe it is that you're running schemes for addicts. Maybe it is that you're feeding the poor. Maybe it is that you are helping people with mental health struggles. Find that way to associate if you can, and so that people are more prepared to tolerate you in your honesty about Jesus being king. And the third option is confrontation. And this happens, and there are brave Christians around the world and within our country who stand up to governments and say, this is wrong. Jesus Christ is king. On moral issues, on rights-based issues, there is direct confrontation. And by going into those confrontations, they're aware that they may well be facing imprisonment or death. I'm not wise enough to be able to look at somebody else's situation and be able to say which one is the right thing. But the assumption is that Christ will give us a measure of wisdom in our circumstances to figure out how we negotiate being sheep amongst wolves. But I know what some of you guys are thinking and saying. You're listening in on this and thinking, it doesn't have to be this way. I can live a faithful life in Jesus Christ and not rub people up the wrong way. Your only problem with that is that Jesus, who, can I remind you, was nicer than you and was better reasoned at communicating his faith. What do we find happens there in verse 22? Verse 23? Hold on, where is it? Not that one. Sorry, verse 24. A student is not above his master, nor a student above his master. Sorry, a student is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the student to be like his teacher and the servant like his master. If the head of the house has been called Beelzebub, how much more the members of his household? So do you hear that? I know some of you might be thinking, Steve, you're a bit abrasive. No wonder you rub people up the wrong way. No, listen, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that sometimes we can put people off Christ by our manner. We want to make sure that the only thing that is offensive is Christ and not us. And yet the reality is that Jesus was better at evangelism. He was more nice. He was much more wise. He understood the situation, and they called him a devil. You're not as nice as Jesus. You're not as wise. What do you think they're going to call you? So please, we need to get away from this idea that we are going to be liked. Although we want to, if we live faithful lives for Jesus Christ, there are going to be people who push us away.